Have you ever felt that she's interested, but you're not quite sure? You're wondering if she really wants something serious with you, or if she's just being nice. In the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal the hidden signals that never fail. Signals that will tell you with absolute certainty if she sees you as a potential relationship or just as a passing distraction. Most men make the same mistake over and over. They misinterpret signals, confuse kindness with interest, and end up investing months in women who never intended to commit. But after today, you won't be one of them. There are 5 unmistakable signals that every woman shows when she's really interested in something serious. 5 behaviors she can't control, that her subconscious reveals even if she tries to hide them. And once you know how to identify them, you'll completely transform your romantic life forever. I promise you, after this video, you'll never again waste your time with someone who isn't as interested as you are. The first revealing signal you need to learn to identify is that she proactively seeks you out to resolve her internal conflicts. This goes far beyond casual messages or the typical "how are you?" When a woman sees you as a potential partner, she begins to incorporate you into her decision-making process, even in matters that might seem insignificant. Neil Strauss explained it perfectly. When a woman shares her vulnerabilities with you, she's not just sharing information, she's evaluating how you handle her inner world. This means that when she tells you about a problem with a friend, a dilemma at work, or even about a seemingly trivial decision like what to do on the weekend, she's not simply making conversation. She's observing how you respond, how you listen, and whether your values align with hers. Think about the last time a woman specifically called you to ask for advice. Did you notice how she paid attention not only to what you said, but how you said it? This is no coincidence. She's evaluating your emotional compatibility, seeing if you're someone she can build something solid with. Now, how can you use this information to your advantage? The next time she shares a problem or asks you for advice, instead of giving an immediate solution, do this. First, listen completely without interrupting, then ask her, "What have you thought about doing about it?" This simple question shows that you value her judgment and that you're interested in her thought process, not just in imposing your opinion. Watch how she reacts. If she immediately opens up more and elaborates, you're seeing a clear sign of genuine interest. Have you noticed that the deepest relationships always begin with these kinds of vulnerable exchanges? It's not the fancy dates or grand gestures, but these moments of authentic connection that build the foundation of something real. Practice this exercise. Every time she shares something personal with you, wait a few seconds before responding. That brief silence shows her that you're really processing what she's saying, that her words carry weight for you. And remember this key phrase, "I'm not just listening to your words, I'm also perceiving what you're not saying." Memorize it, feel it, and apply it in every interaction. You'll be surprised how this simple change in your approach completely transforms the dynamic between you. Because when you demonstrate that you can handle her vulnerabilities with respect, she begins to see you as someone she can build emotional strength with, and that's what we'll talk about in the next point. The second unmistakable signal is that she begins to synchronize her body language and habits with yours unconsciously. This phenomenon, known to experts as behavioral mimicry, is one of the most powerful indicators, and yet one of the most overlooked. Neil Strauss pointed out that the body speaks truths that the mouth tries to hide. When a woman is genuinely interested in you on a romantic level, her body constantly betrays her. She begins to adopt your expressions, subtly mimic your gestures, even use specific phrases or words that are part of your regular vocabulary. Have you ever noticed that after spending time with you, she begins to use expressions of yours that weren't previously part of her language? Or maybe she's adopted a hobby or interest that she didn't have before, but that's important to you. These aren't casual acts or coincidences. They're subconscious manifestations of alignment, of wanting to fit into your world. Think about that woman who, after learning you like a certain type of music, suddenly develops an interest in those artists, or the one who had never tried a certain food until you mentioned it was your favorite. These small adjustments in her preferences are powerful signs that she's trying to create connection points, bridges between her world and yours. To test this, do this exercise. During your next conversation with her, Consciously adopt a subtle but distinctive gesture. It could be the way you hold your drink, how you slightly tilt your head when you listen attentively, or even a unique verbal expression you use to show agreement. Then observe if in future encounters she begins to reflect that same behavior. If she does, you're seeing this synchronization in action. But there's something important you need to understand. This behavioral mirroring isn't conscious manipulation, it's genuine attraction. When we feel attracted to someone, our brain releases neurotransmitters that drive us to seek similarities, to create harmony. It's pure biology working to make your path easier. Mentally repeat this truth. Natural synchronization is the silent dance of genuine interest. Because when she begins to match her rhythm to yours, she's not just showing interest, she's preparing the ground for a much deeper connection. And this is where the next level of signals comes in, revealing her true interest in you. The third signal, perhaps the most revealing of all, is that she begins to invest in you long before you fully invest in her. And I'm not just talking about emotional investment, but investment of time, energy, and resources. This is a fundamental principle in relationship psychology that Neil Strauss constantly highlighted. The level of investment is directly proportional to the level of genuine interest. When a woman is really interested in building something with you, she begins to make small sacrifices that, added up, reveal a clear intention. She modifies her schedule to coincide with yours, remembers specific details from past conversations, plans ahead to ensure you can be present at important events for her. Has she ever surprised you with something you casually mentioned weeks ago and had already forgotten? Maybe you mentioned you liked a certain author and one day she shows up with one of their books. Or perhaps you mentioned a restaurant you wanted to try and she took the time to research it and make a reservation. These aren't casual gestures, they're conscious investments in the connection between you. Think about the woman who, despite having other options, chooses to spend time with you. The one who could be anywhere else on a Friday night, but prefers to be with you, even if the activity isn't particularly exciting. This is pure investment, it's prioritization. And when a woman prioritizes you, she's sending a clear message about her intentions. To test this, conduct this experiment. Propose a plan with some advance notice, something simple like coffee or a walk, but make it for a date that requires her to slightly adjust her schedule. It doesn't have to be a big sacrifice, just something that involves a small planning effort. Observe her response. If she immediately looks for alternatives to make the meeting happen, if she proposes other dates or times instead of simply declining, you're seeing this investment in action. But here comes the crucial point. Never take this investment for granted. Every time she makes an effort, no matter how small, acknowledge it. Not in an exaggerated way, but with a simple, "I appreciate that you made time for this," or "I noticed the detail, it means a lot." This acknowledgement reinforces the positive cycle of investment and makes her feel that her efforts are worthwhile. Repeat to yourself this essential truth. Voluntary investment is the purest evidence of genuine interest, because when she begins to invest in you without you asking, without you demanding it, she's declaring with actions what she may not yet be ready to declare with words. And that leads us directly to the next level of signals, where barriers begin to fall and true intentions are revealed more clearly. Remember the last time you met someone and felt an immediate connection? That feeling that you could be yourself without filters or pretensions. Well, that brings us to the fourth unmistakable signal. She begins to show you versions of herself that others don't see. This is perhaps the most powerful indicator of all, because it transcends words and superficial actions. It goes directly to the essence of genuine trust and intimacy. Neil Strauss explained it perfectly. Selective vulnerability is the gateway to real intimacy. When someone shows you their shadows, they're inviting you into a privileged space. And he's absolutely right. When a woman is evaluating you as a potential partner, she begins a gradual but deliberate process of personal revelation. She starts by showing you sides of her personality that she normally keeps hidden in social settings. Maybe she's extremely professional and composed in public, but with you, she allows herself to be playful, even silly. Or perhaps she presents an image of total independence to the world, but with you she shares her fears and insecurities. Has it ever happened that she called you in a moment of emotional vulnerability? Has she shared with you a failure, a deep doubt, or a fear she wouldn't normally reveal? These moments aren't coincidental. They're tests, unconscious evaluations to see if you're capable of holding the most fragile parts of her being. Think about the woman who is normally reserved about her past, but who has begun to share childhood stories with you, or the one who, after always projecting strength, allows you to see her in a moment of doubt or confusion. These aren't signs of weakness. They're acts of tremendous trust. To deepen this dynamic, practice this exercise. The next time she shares something vulnerable with you, instead of responding immediately or trying to fix what she's telling you, simply maintain a space of safety. Say something like, "Thank you for trusting me with this," and then ask, "How do you feel sharing this with me?" This response not only validates her openness, but deepens the connection by focusing on the act of shared trust itself. The most fascinating thing about this dynamic is that it's reciprocal. As she opens up, you'll also feel the natural impulse to show yourself more authentically. It's a virtuous cycle of revelation and trust that, when flowing naturally, creates the strongest foundations for a lasting relationship. Repeat to yourself this powerful truth. The privilege of seeing her multiple layers is a gift I must honor with presence and understanding. Because when a woman allows you to see beyond the image she projects to the world, she's not just showing you hidden parts of herself, she's inviting you on a journey of mutual discovery. And it's precisely this depth of connection that brings us to the fifth and most definitive signal of all. The fifth signal, the one that definitely confirms she sees you as a potential long-term partner, is that she begins to integrate you into her vision of the future. This isn't a subtle signal, it's a powerful statement, though sometimes silent, of her real intentions. Neil Strauss observed something fundamental about this phenomenon. When someone includes you in their mental map of the future, they've made the subconscious decision that you're a variable they want to keep constant. This observation perfectly captures the essence of what happens when a woman has decided, consciously or unconsciously, that you're someone she wants to build something meaningful with. How does this manifest? It begins with small references to the future that include you. Maybe she mentions an event that will occur months from now and naturally assumes you'll be there with her. Or perhaps she talks about places she'd like to visit with you, experiences she wants to share, even plans for upcoming vacations or holidays. Have you noticed that when she talks about her medium-term plans, she mentions you as part of them without even questioning it? Or that when she describes how she imagines certain future moments in her life, you appear in those visualizations? These aren't casual comments. They're windows into her internal planning process, in which she's already included you as a constant. Think about the woman who, when talking about changing jobs or cities, considers how that would affect the dynamic between you. Or the one who, when mentioning her personal goals for the coming years, naturally intertwines the possibility of a shared life with you. You're seeing this integration into the future in its most authentic form. To deepen this signal, perform this conversation exercise. Subtly introduce topics related to future plans, but do it in an open way and without pressure. You might mention a destination you'd like to visit next year, or a change you're considering making in your professional life. Observe how she responds. If she immediately includes herself in that scenario, "Oh, I've always wanted to visit that place too," or "How would that affect our time together?" You're receiving a clear confirmation of this fifth signal. The most powerful thing about this signal is that it transcends words and manifests in concrete actions. She begins to make decisions in the present that only make sense if she's considering a future with you. It could be something as simple as buying tickets for a concert that will be in 6 months, or something more significant like consulting you before making an important decision that could impact both of you. Repeat to yourself this revealing truth. When she integrates me into her future, she's showing me the value she sees in our present. Because when a woman places you in her future timeline, she's doing much more than planning. She's declaring an intention. She's telling you, sometimes without words, that she sees you as a valuable part of her path forward. And this is where everything connects, where the 5 signals form a complete map of her true intentions. Because when a woman seeks you out to resolve her internal conflicts, synchronizes her body language with yours, proactively invests in you, shows you versions of herself that others don't see, and integrates you into her vision of the future, there's no room for doubt. You're not looking at ambiguous signals or gestures that could be misinterpreted. You're looking at a complete statement, though sometimes silent, that she sees you as someone she wants to build something meaningful with. If you've made it this far, you're probably processing a lot of information. Maybe you're mentally reviewing your recent interactions, looking for these signals, evaluating where you stand on this map of intentions. And that's exactly what you should be doing. Because the truth is that most of us spend too much time in uncertainty, wondering if we're investing our time and energy in someone who's really as interested as we are. But now you have the tools to know for sure. You have a clear map that allows you to navigate with confidence through these sometimes confusing waters of modern relationships. And before concluding, I want you to remember this. These signals work in both directions. If you find someone who shows these 5 signals and you feel a genuine connection, allow them to see these signals in you too. Shared vulnerability, mutual investment, and the joint construction of a future are the ingredients of the deepest and most satisfying relationships. If you're seeing our content for the first time, I invite you to subscribe right now and activate the notification bell. We're building a community of people committed to personal growth and authentic relationships, and your presence would greatly enrich this space. The truth we've explored today is simple but transformative. When someone is really interested in you for something serious, you don't need to decipher complex codes or read between the lines. Their behavior says it all. She will seek you out to share her internal dilemmas, synchronize her language and behavior with yours, invest in you before you fully invest in her, show you versions of herself that others don't see, and naturally integrate you into her vision of the future. Uncertainty in relationships arises when we try to find confirmation only in words. But now you know that actions, patterns of behavior, and small daily decisions reveal much more than any verbal statement. You've learned to read the complete map, not just isolated fragments. Your challenge from today is clear. Start observing these signals in your interactions, not from a place of insecurity or doubt, but from the confidence of someone who knows what they're looking for and what they deserve. And as you do, comment below with this statement to reaffirm your commitment to more authentic and satisfying relationships. I choose to invest my time and energy only in people who show genuine interest aligned with mine. Let the world know that you're no longer the same person who used to settle for ambiguous signals or half-truths. You're someone who understands the language of genuine intentions and won't settle for less than that. And remember, the deepest and most meaningful relationships begin when two people see each other clearly, not just as they are on the surface, but as they could be together. When you find someone who shows you these 5 signals, and you genuinely feel them toward that person, you're at the beginning of something extraordinary. See you in the next video, where we'll continue to deepen our understanding of the dynamics that transform casual encounters into meaningful connections. Don't forget to share this content with someone you think could benefit from these perspectives. Sometimes, the right information at the right time can completely change the course of a relationship. Until next time, and remember, genuine love isn't pursued. It's built day by day with every small decision, every gesture of shared vulnerability, and every step taken together toward a mutually envisioned future.